How are you today?
I'm great.
That's good. How's your summer vacation so far?
It's good.
That's good. Is
Okay.
that your fish?
Yeah, that's two. That is two fish. I believe that they are kind of different in their in their size,
Okay.
and secondly in their fins. Their fins look different, and their tails too. But they look
Okay,
overall
that's
the
pretty
same.
cool.
They're overall the same.
Is it like 3D printed?
No, it's not 3D printed. It's just a plastic thingy that you have on your pencil or something.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is a science demo. Tell me, what do you like the most about science?
About animals. Definitely.
Animals, okay. Okay, so more like biology
Yep.
and like chemistry and physics. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, me too. Okay, so let's start with today's work, okay? It's going to be about food chains. Okay, food chains and food webs. That's so cute.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, so tell me, what do you know about food chains?
I know that food chains are like, for example, this is a type of fish. Sorry, fish. Yeah. So I recently found this video and they pronounced fish as fish, and I thought it was funny. So yeah. Okay, this is a type of fish, and then there's a bigger fish that eats this fish, and then there's an even. Okay, fine. Okay. So this is a fish, and this is a bigger fish that eats the fish, and this is an even bigger fish that eats that fish. And basically, it just goes on and on and on until a crocodile eats all of them.
Okay, good. Yes, okay. That's a good example. Okay, good. So, what do you see? Okay, let's start here. What do you see here?
I see a tree.
Okay, and then?
And there's a bird that I don't know if any bird eats trees, but sure, that bird eats the tree.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then the
And then
eagle or hawk eats them, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, basically that's how it works. Okay, cool. Okay, so right, let me just. So this is the focus question for today's class. Okay, so what are some ways to put living things into categories? So to categorize living things, like plants and animals. Okay. Then like mammals or not mammals. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Now, let's see. This is a mushroom that helps a tree stump to decompose. Do you like mushrooms?
I like to eat them.
Okay, like a normal mushroom that you actually can eat. Yeah, those are pretty good. Especially in food. Okay, good. Okay, so this is an introduction about a girl and what she eats at her breakfast table. Okay, but this is all about energy. So, can you explain to me how humans get energy from food? Do you know?
Yeah, kind of. So they get food, like, firstly, for example, maybe someone wants to eat a fish. Fish, because I only have fish. So, someone wants to eat a fish, and, they order it on the website, And then a bunch of people notices that this person wants to eat fish on the website, and they would go into the ocean and catch this type of fish, and then they would just bring it to the person who wants to eat the fish. So I guess it's just like that. They get energy from food, and the food comes from the same food, and the food if you make it like this, and I think the food comes from the website, but the food is supposed to come from the nature, though.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and when we eat the food, how do you think our body reacts to the energy?
They just digest it, and then you just get energized.
Yes, okay, good. Yeah, so we get our energy from food, right?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Now let's see. This book explores how living things get energy and matter they need to survive. Okay. You will learn how one living thing depends on another. Okay. So we depend on the fish, for instance, in that example. Okay. And that ultimately, all things depend on the energy from the sun. Okay. So that's also very important. And we'll also learn what happens when a food source is taken away. For instance, in a food chain, if one food source is taken away, what happens then? Okay, good. Okay, cool. So, let's see. We're quickly going to look at this here.
Today's science challenge.
Yes. So, how does energy move through an ecosystem? Okay. So, we'll investigate where the energy in our food originally comes from, how energy moves through food chains and food webs, why ecosystems contain many plants but few top predators. So, a top predator, like at the top of the food chain, for instance, this part here is like the top predator. Okay? So, let's quickly do that one. Why do you think there are not a lot of top predators?
I think it's because the other predators eat a lot of the prey that they eat, and basically they're just more and more of the prey. There's just more and more of the predator, and at first the predators, there are a lot of top predators, apex predators, and then because the food source is not enough, the prey the apex predators eat start to vanish. For example, maybe there is not as much sparrows for the snake to eat, and so the snake, they would just starve, and then the hawk or the falcon, I think that's a falcon, would not have enough food source to eat, and so they die too.
Good. Yes, good. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. So if there are too many top predators, then they will just eat all of the other things in this food chain, and then eventually they will also die out because there won't be any food for them. Okay, good. Yeah, good. So let's see. This, we're going to follow the energy, okay? So the sun, okay, gives, like grass, plants, energy because they photosynthesize, right? Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And then the grasshopper eats the grass. And then the frog eats the grasshopper. And then the snake eats the frog. and then the hawk eats the snake. Okay, so the energy flows like this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. Do you know what a producer is?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a producer and a consumer?
So the producer is the thing that produces a food source. For example, the sun produces grass.
Good, good. Okay, and a consumer?
The consumers are things that eat other things.
Good, yes.
Yeah, so they eat other things. They don't just, they're not just so simple as the producers where they just live without eating anything else. Like it doesn't make sense if grass eats a tree. So,
Yes. Okay.
basically something like a mouse would eat the grass, or yeah, and they're eating another living thing, so they are the consumers. Maybe something else will eat them, and that's more obvious. That would be more obvious that it is a consumer.
Good, good, yes. Okay, great. Okay, yeah, that's really good. So producers make their own food, and green plants are the major producers. Okay, so in the food chain, green plants are the major producers. Okay, then without the energy from the sun, okay, the producers cannot photosynthesize. Okay, so most living things on Earth would not be able to survive. So the sun is the main giver and producer of energy. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah, here you can see producers. Sun gives the grass energy. Okay, good job. Okay, now food chains, right? So scientists often use food chains to illustrate how one living thing depends on another. So here you can see these chains link, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a break in one of them, then the whole chain would be weak. Okay, good. So food chains can be short or fairly long. I think that, let's see, this example is a fairly long one. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six organisms, if you count the sun as one as well, in this food chain. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, and I actually wanted to ask you this as well. So, does an arrow mean eats or energy moves to?
I think it's
What do you
energy
think?
moves too, because as we said, grass cannot eat a tree, or a flower, or a butterfly, or a grasshopper. They don't even have a mouth.
Okay, good, yes. Yeah, good. So, if we look at the energy on the breakfast table, remember the breakfast table in the first part of the book?
Mm-hmm.
There, we wondered how food gives us energy, right?
Yeah.
So we drink it, we are the consumer of food, and the food gives us energy. So here you can see the orange juice, okay? So the sun is the first one. What do you think is the missing link here?
I think it's orange. Like the sun produces a plant that makes the orange.
Yeah, like an orange tree.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good job. And then the oatmeal.
It's the sun, and then wait. First it's the sun, then it's the grass, and then the grass turns into the oatmeal, and then it gets delivered to the human who ordered this delicious but also kind of unreal looking bowl of oatmeal, because I actually never ate that thing before, so I don't even know if it exists. Yeah.
Have you never eaten oatmeal?
Yeah, I know. I
It's
just
like a-
mean, I don't,
It's like a
I did. So I meant, I never ate the thing with the blueberries on it, so I don't know if it's real or not.
this here.
Oh, that's oatmeal, okay.
Yes, that's the oatmeal. Yeah. Have you ever had oatmeal?
I never had actual oatmeal. I just know what an oatmeal looks like. And I also eat oatmeal flavored things sometimes, but I rarely eat oatmeal.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like actually eat oatmeal every morning. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay, good. Okay, so you definitely understand where the energy and how it flows from the consumer, from the producer to the consumer at the end. Okay, really, that was really good. Okay, now let's see. I know that you know a lot about food chains, so I'm just going to quickly look at some of the keywords. So, how do you pronounce this word?
Herbivores.
Okay, and what do you think it is? Can you tell me?
Herbivores are things that eat grass and plants. And, for example,
Okay, good.
I don't actually know, but I think, a parrot, like this one, eats, only plants. They don't eat meat, or else it would be freaky, and probably they would just devour your fingernail when you pet them.
Yeah. They actually do bite, and they really bite really sore. Yeah, okay, so herbivore is definitely it's plants and not meat at all. Okay, good. Yes, okay. So here you can see that. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Here, can you maybe read this here?
Okay, special body parts. Sorry. Help many herbivores break apart the plant material, tough plant material, so they can get the energy stored in certain plant parts. Parrots have tough beaks that can crack open the outer cases of tropical fruits and nuts. Elephants have special teeth to grind tree bark, which I did not know.
Yeah, they actually do that a lot. And have you ever seen an elephant scratching its behind against a tree? They do that a lot as well.
Actually, I never had an interest in elephants, so I never really just look at them. I know what they look like and I know what they eat, but I don't know specific facts about them.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so have you ever seen an African elephant, or have you only seen an Asian elephant?
I've only seen those classic-looking elephants, like with the big ears and the. Yeah.
Okay, so in real life or only on like images?
Sometimes it's on cartoons, or I think I once seen a real elephant before, but not really. I am not really good at identifying what species of the elephant, of what the elephant is, or
Okay.
even their facts, which I talked about. Browser.
Yeah, okay, good. So let me show you the difference between African and Asian elephants. They are
Wow.
very, very clear differences.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the World Cup. Okay, so here you can see. This is the main difference between.
Well,
It's going to.
I've definitely seen the
Yeah.
African elephant.
Yeah, they're the main ones that people think of when they think of elephants. Yeah, so this is the difference as well. The pictures don't want to open. Okay, but you get the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see the Asian elephant is much smaller than the African elephant. Yeah, and this one also has bigger ears. Okay, cool. Okay, let's move on. So can you tell me what a carnivore is?
A carnivore is something that eats meat only. And if you're gonna ask later, an omnivore eats both plants and meat.
Good. Yes. Okay. Here you can see these animals are carnivores or meat eaters. Okay. So they feed on animals that are herbivores. Okay. Cool. So here you can see. Here's a picture of a spider eating a grasshopper. Okay. I hate spiders. Okay. So here we said omnivores, and they consume both plants and animals. Can you give me one example of an omnivore?
I guess the first thing that comes in mind is a monkey or a human. Then it's just the thing about dogs and cats, and they do eat plants sometimes. And I know that dogs
Yes.
or cats or obviously dogs eat plants because well, again, I saw this video of a dog taste test, and basically there were plants, and of course they ate it. So I know that they are omnivores too. I'm not sure about cats, but I think if dogs can eat both, then probably cats too, because they're kind of similar.
Okay, good. Yes, okay. So dogs actually eat grass as well. Some really like it and some do not. So it's nice to. Well, it's not actually nice. It actually makes them vomit. So they eat grass sometimes if they feel sick, so that they can vomit like the bad things out. That makes sense. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. But so here are the main. Okay, so this is the producer, right? Okay, so it gets its energy from the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the first consumer is the primary consumer. And this is the mouse, okay? And the snake is the secondary consumer. And then at the top of the food chain is the top or tertiary consumer, which means third.
Okay.
Okay. Can you name one predator or one enemy, basically, of the eagle, the hawk, falcon? I'm not 100% sure which one this is.
I guess probably a lion.
It doesn't have to be. Okay.
Or tiger.
Sorry, a lion. Is that what you said?
Yeah. A lion or
Okay.
a tiger.
Okay.
Or a panther.
Okay. Okay. Humans can also be one because they can shoot a bird. But I think most of all, it's maybe just like the natural, natural things like heat, cold, natural disasters, things like that. That is the main prey. Basically, it's not prey, but like the biggest threats to the top of the food chain. Okay, did you know that?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, or like their peers. Do you know what the word peers mean?
Oh, no.
So peers is like your friends at school. Those are your peers, like the ones that are with you together in a certain space. Like if you work in a business one day, and your colleagues, they are your peers then. Okay, so falcon. Let's say this is a falcon. His peers would be other falcons, and they can sometimes like kill each other, for instance. Okay, so that's also another thing that can kill the falcon. So just because you're at the top of the food chain doesn't mean you can't die. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, and one more fact. I know that some animals they eat their own kind, but it's kind of disturbing that I know that humans can also eat humans too, which is kind of disturbing.
Yeah. It is very disturbing, yes. It's called cannibalism.
Yeah.
So cannibalism is when you eat the same thing that you are. So yeah, it's very bad. It's very disgusting and disturbing. Yeah, so don't think about it. It's bad. Okay, so predators and prey, you know the difference between predators and prey, right? Can you give me an example of prey? Chris, in the food chain.
So,
You can make your own example.
For example,
Should I give you a prey and then you give me a predator and then I give you a predator and you give me a prey?
okay.
I have two examples.
Okay.
Okay. You can pick first. You can pick first.
Okay, out of all the options, I'm just gonna say snake because the first thing I saw was a snake.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So do you want the snake to be the predator or the prey?
I want it to be a predator.
Predator, okay. Okay, good. Okay, so now I should choose the prey, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I will choose a frog. Okay, so where do you think? Do you actually know how a frog, the life cycle of a frog?
Yeah, I know a life
So
cycle
a frog.
of a frog.
Okay, so what do you think a frog eats? For
I think
instance?
the frog eats a bug. Any kind except for poisonous ones.
Good, good, okay. And so we have the snake here, okay. Then we have the frog. Then we have a bug, okay. And what do you think bugs eat? Do you want to make the bug omnivore or a carnivore or herbivore?
I mean, that bug can. It depends on what it is, which I didn't really say.
You can say and do any example that you want.
So I guess the bug can eat an even smaller bug.
Okay, good. Okay, so there's a bug here, and then a smaller bug. Okay, and that is probably, let's say it's grass. Okay, grass. Okay, so what is the grass? Is it a producer or a consumer?
It's a producer.
Okay, good. Where does the grass get its energy from?
From the sun.
Okay, good. Yes, okay. Let's say that. Okay, good. Okay, and then the bug, okay? Is it a consumer or a producer?
It's a consumer. Oh.
Okay, good. Okay, and is it the first consumer? Or what do you think?
And it's definitely, I think, if we're talking about the small one, it's definitely a primary consumer. If it is
Yes.
the bigger bug, then it's the secondary one.
Okay, and the third one, this was the frog, right?
Yeah,
What do you think the frog would be?
the frog would be the
Tertiary?
one moment.
It's
the
tertiary.
the tertiary consumer, and then it's the
Okay.
it's the snake, which is a fourth
Snake?
consumer.
Yes, okay, good. Yeah, and then, what do you think then? What do you think is the okay, so we said in your example that the snake is the predator, right? But what if the snake was the prey? What do you think could be the fifth consumer?
Yes, a hawk or falcon or a whatever, but it should be a bird, I guess, but not like parrots or birds that eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be like what do you call it? Like a killer. A killer bird. Like one of those birds that are very aggressive and that are very they're almost like carnivorous as well. So yeah, not like a parrot, more like a hawk. Or have you ever seen like a fish eagle? They eat fish. So instead of like a snake, we can also make an example of a fish. Okay, but it sounds like you really know a lot about the predators and the prey. So I think let's move on to the next one. So do you know what interdependency is? Have you ever heard of the word interdependency?
Actually, no.
Okay, so interdependency is when two things are dependent on each other in a weird way. So, for instance, the rabbit would be dependent on the fox, but for different kinds of reasons. Okay, and the fox would also be dependent on the rabbits, but also for different kinds of reasons. So, if there's a lot of rabbits and if they live in harmony, okay, like here you can see, both of them live in harmony. But if one of them goes down, the other goes up. So it's out of sync, basically. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there needs to be a balance, basically. Like here you can see that they are both at the same level here. Okay. So as soon as there's like a deviation, like here you can see, it's a massive deviation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is bad. Okay, good. Okay, so do you know what a scavenger is? Have you ever heard of a scavenger?
Yeah, so scavenger is a thing that eats something that is left over by something else. Like, for example, I guess hyenas would be an obvious example.
Okay, good, yes. And do you know, like, tell me what's one scavenger that's a bird?
Like a vulture. I think it's a vulture. And also, fun fact, many years ago, humans were scavengers too.
Right, yes, okay. How many years ago?
Well, probably like a few billion years ago, but I didn't really. The book, like, Unstoppable Us didn't really tell me, and if I actually knew, I wouldn't remember for such a long time because I didn't remember a bunch of things. So it's either a few billion years ago or a few million years ago. But then a few million years ago, I don't think that's long enough. So I said a billion.
Okay, good. Okay, so like we said about the decomposers, like the scavengers, right? There are other things that are also threats. Not a threat, but they help the life cycle of an animal along. Okay, so it's basically, have you heard of the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure?
I never
Have you heard of
heard
that?
of that.
Sorry?
No.
Okay, that means so in a normal English way, that would be like if you decide, this is a simple example, okay? So you have things in your house that you don't want to have anymore and you throw them away, okay? And then someone comes and see that you have the things that you throw away in your trash and they actually want it and they actually need it. Then that trash turns to treasure for another person.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
It's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. Okay. So basically, the decomposers is like the last link. Okay. So, like I said, we have this entire food chain here. Okay. And this is let's say this is the falcon. Okay.
Okay.
The energy moves through this right here, right? But it doesn't stop at the fifth consumer. There is still the decomposers at the end. Like bacteria, like fungi, stuff like that. It helps break down the body, which is also then absorbed into the grass as well. So it's like a real cycle. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to food webs. Okay, so a food chain is a simple way to learn how energy and matter move through an ecosystem. Okay, but in nature, the patterns of eating are rarely as simple as that food chains represent. Okay, so this is an example of a food web. So do you see that there are lots and lots of different predators, consumers, and there's only one producer in this picture, but there is a lot. Okay, so this is the picture of the cover, right? Okay, and as you can see, there are multiple things. So here you have a producer and a consumer, but for very different kinds of animals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interconnected web. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, so in this example, okay, you have the squid and you have the turtle, right? What do you think this is?
I think this is shrimp and. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, that's shrimp. Okay, and this?
This is a crab.
Good. Okay. What do you think this is? You don't have to say type of fish. You can just say fish.
Alright.
Yeah. And then this is obviously
This is obviously a fish. And that is a jellyfish. Jellyfish.
Okay, good. Okay, and all of them together are, what do you think?
A food. I think it's a food web, not a chain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a food web.
Why do you say that?
Because
Why do you think it's a food web?
it's not just. Oh, wait, it's not just the squid gets eaten by. It's not just this and this and this and this and this and this.
Okay, good. Yes.
That's a food chain or
Okay.
food, or it's a round food chain. This is like, if this is more complex, then it's like this and this and this. And
Yeah.
this, and then it would be like a web.
Okay, good. Okay. Now, what do you think is the top predator in this picture?
It's definitely the turtle because everyone is going to the turtle.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. Okay, good. But if we have a next session, we're definitely going to work through some examples. Just want to make sure that you understand all of the concepts in this class. Okay, so here you can see the crab is the food source in this example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the sea turtle is the predator in this example.
Yep.
Okay, do you agree? Okay, good, good. Now, let's look at this ocean food web. Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger. Just like this. Actually, a little bit smaller. Okay. So, I have another example of ocean food web. But let's quickly look at this food web first. Okay. So, can you name the different parts of, like producer, consumer? Can you label all of these?
Oh yes.
Like the first
plant-
consumer, second consumer.
So the plankton is the producer. The anchovy and everything else other than the plankton is the consumers, which consume each other. For example, the lobster eats the plankton and a bunch of fish too. Well, anchovies, I guess. And then the anchovies get eaten by Jack. And then Jack gets eaten by a shark or a herring gull. And then anchovy also gets eaten by a lobster and a seal. And the lobster also gets eaten by the seal. And the lobster gets eaten by the herring gull too. And the anchovy gets eaten by the herring gull too. So all of them are consumers because they all eat each other.
Very good. Okay. And let's look at the top predators. Okay. What do you think can eat the herring gull? Can you name one predator?
If this is like something related to on a beach, then well, I think it's just humans would do such thing. If it's like the herring gull can be eaten by things outside their native place, then there's probably a lot, like hawks and falcons and, well, if you took a lion or something similar to that, like a four-legged creature with teeth, like literally dogs can work too, and they're so friendly looking. Well, some of them, and they
friendly
would just
to us humans.
yeah, they would just eat the gull.
Okay, good. Okay, and then let's look at the shark. Okay, what do you think? Why would humans for instance, be a predator for a shark?
Because first up, sharks can eat humans, but that's only in a movie. Sharks don't really harm humans if they don't have to.
Okay.
But the humans, they do not appreciate this friendliness, and they're like, "Hey, fight me!" So they made movies, and they also tried to kill the sharks, which is kind of mean because they wanted peace, and the humans gave them chaos.
Okay, that makes sense. And sharks actually get hunted for food as well. And we also some of the like the fins and some of the stuff like that, they get used for other products as well. So we are definitely a predator of a shark, but in a certain way. If it's just like us in the water against a shark, then obviously we are the prey. Okay, good. Okay. It sounds like you really know a lot about food webs and food chains. If we ever have a class again, then we would look at examples and we'd also quickly recap energy pyramids. Okay. But you did really, really good in today's class. I hope that you had some fun. And yeah, I would like to see you again soon. I'll anyway see you on Saturday.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay, so
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for today's class. It was great seeing you again. And I'll see you soon again.
Okay, see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. See you. See you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Okay.
不是 OK 半天说不知道说啥了是吗？